Hey guys, it's Jessica, aka Intriguing One here on YouTube, and
Roberto, aka Salsa Sliver, Azúcar.
what is it with the eyebrow thing when you say salsa sleeper? Yeah, comedy hour as usual here on Saturday with us. We're on the Back to Basics weight loss surgery channel Saturday, and it's our vlogging day. We're going to jump into our serious topic here and see if we can keep it on track this week. It is mental work. How much of your weight loss success has come from your tool or the straight mental game? Explain the process of growing mentally determines your success. Oh boy. Those of you that know, I am 2.5-ish years post-op lap band. Honestly, if I had to break it up between 100% of what is my tool versus mental, I'm going to have to say it's maybe 30% tool, 70% mental. I do not have great restriction, never have. I am currently at 7.9 cc's in my 10 cc band, and I have not had a fill in over a year and a half. I've debated getting a fill back and forth, looking for that restriction level, but then again, I do not want to be tight. I don't want to be PBing. I don't want those issues. I don't currently have those issues. I have never had those issues. I have probably PB'd 3 times in 2.5 years, and that's just not something I want to. I don't want to deal with. I got the tool to help me, but I don't want it to be so much help to where it's also a hindrance to my life. So my lap band does help. I mean, don't get me wrong. Obviously, it provides some level of restriction. Obviously, allows me to be satisfied with less food than I would be if I didn't have that. So, I'm grateful for that. But in the same aspect, it doesn't stop me from eating ice cream. It doesn't start. Actually, a lot of the foods that I shouldn't eat are probably the easiest to eat, with the exception of maybe bread. But I can eat anything. And my lap band doesn't prevent me from eating anything. It doesn't stop me from eating ice cream. My lap band doesn't make me go out and run. It doesn't make me exercise. So all of those things are things that I would consider, a lifestyle change, a mental change. And I think that's really what's helped me on this journey. Depending on the day, I've lost anywhere between 110 to 115 pounds. I can't complain. So the hardest thing for me is to stay on track mentally. Obviously my lap band doesn't change, but my mental frame does on any given day. I might still have days where I don't give a crap and I want to eat stuff that I shouldn't, and then I gotta reel myself back in and pull that mental game back in and say, okay, am I eating protein first? Am I eating things that I shouldn't be? Am I drinking when I'm eating? Am I chewing my food? All of those things that we have to go through in our head to make sure that we're living this journey. So I think it's very important to have a good mindset. However, it doesn't mean that you're always going to be on, and that's one thing that if anything, before lap band, I would have said, okay, I've had a bad day, forget it, let's just start over next Monday, let's fall off the wagon, forget it altogether, what have you. And now it's like, okay, you made a bad decision, you flip it the next meal, you just keep going, you don't give up. And I think that's the biggest difference now versus pre-op, is before I would have just given up because everything seemed too grand, too much weight to lose, too hard, too much effort. And now I just take it in little bites at a time and make it work for my daily life. I mean, if I'm in a situation where I don't have the best choices around me, it's okay. You just make the best choice you can and you move on. So that's kind of my take. What you got?
Oh boy. Well, to those who know me, and especially the one right next to me,
I don't know you.
Yeah, you do. I'm still struggling. That's no secret. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna pretend. I mean, I'm sure somebody see me, and it's a big change. But I'm still struggling. I'm better than what I used to be, so for that I'm happy. I'm not saying I'm content, but I think I come long ways where I was. But I'm still. Maybe I should have a brain surgery, which I did actually before my
Yeah,
bad.
you probably should joke about that.
Right, but I did. Actually, surprisingly enough, I did. But they took something out. They didn't put anything in. Um, but I think like my wife said, she is before I used to give up easy, and now it's just like she remind me. I guess looking at people in Facebook, watching any shows, or realizing how society is, the food. Yeah, I have my bad moments, but I kind of like, okay, before I didn't care, you know. Uh, I was probably, like I told Jessica, at one point I think I was probably consuming 4,000 calories a day, which a lot of people, surprisingly enough, I think I did. It's nothing but greasy stuff. So, with that say, and like I always say, whatever I say is me. It's who I am. I'm not trying to say it's the right or wrong way to do it. It's just who I am. I'm honest with myself. You always will get the honest answer from me. And I'm still working on this. But I think I come long ways. I think I'm better than what I used to be. Am I where I'm supposed to be, or some people are there already there that they're like, whoa, super, everything by the book? No. Am I ever going to be that way? Maybe. But I just take one day at a time, and I think I'm doing better than what I used to. And I think that's the one thing about we the partners in crime, but we also, sometimes I jokingly tell her, hey, but she keep me in check most of the time, and I'm glad that she does. So mentally, I'm still working on it. So feel free to any advice. I take criticism in a good way. If you want to give me advice, feel free. I'm struggling, and it's all in here. I remember when I ran my half marathon, mile 8-9, I was done. But I think I mentioned it before. I promised myself and promised my wife that I was not going to walk, and I didn't. I did walk. So for me, it was a big thing. I mean, for somebody who has run marathons or is a runner, not a big deal. But for a guy who used to weigh 325 pounds to run 13 point something miles, because I did run it, I didn't run it super fast, but I did run it, it was a big thing. And I can tell you right now, I didn't realize how powerful the mind, the brain is, mental, until I did that.
So how much would you relate your success to your tool versus your mental game if you had to rate it in 100% increments?
I would say 60-40, but I'm
60-40 what?
mentally it's more 60-70, like you say. 30% is the tools that I use, but I'm still working on it. I'm a work in progress, but
We all are.
Yeah, I'm better than what I used to be. That's what I say. I'm not better than anybody, but I'm definitely better than what I used to be, and for that I'm happy.
So do you think the biggest thing for you to work on is your mental?
I think so. The mental thing is a powerful thing. If you control all your crap, or your so many things that I still have from my childhood, some of the things that it dragged me to my addiction to food. She's not addicted. People who they are addicted to food, they can relate to this. I think that, yeah, I mean, I have to mentally get emphasized in where I want to go, reach my goal, and don't let all the stuff around keep me on track of where I want to be.
So mentally we move forward.
That's all
I
we
think
can do.
that the best thing is just not to be hard on yourself. We're all our own worst enemies at times, and when we make mistakes or we don't do things the way that we're supposed to, we're often hard on ourselves and let that derail us for the day or for the week or for the month or whatever. And that's really the mental part, where you need to be able to rebound off of a mistake or not the best choice, or even a binge. Even if you just ate a half-gallon of ice cream, you got to be able to know that, okay, you can't change the past, but you can change the future. That's the only thing we have control over, is our next choice. So I think that's just really what you got to try and focus on. And don't beat yourself up. Just move on and try to learn something or better yourself from that decision that led you there. Just don't be too hard on yourself. That's my advice. So, anything else?
That's it.
All right, guys. See you next week.
Azúcar.